In order to be competitive in Magic the Gathering, decks must be built with immaculate synergy. Cards that would be fun to play are strategically cut because they don't fit the curve, they require an extra color, or they just don't match up against the meta. But what if we took all that strategy and threw it in the garbage and built around random cards instead? So, I've been playing this format to have some casual fun, where I roll 3 random rares or mythics and build a deck around them, then try to win a single game on Arena as quickly as possible. It leads to some interesting interactions and new ideas. I've been doing this in Standard where I have a larger percentage of the card pool, but you could be done in Pioneer or whatever format you prefer. So the way that we're going to get our 3 random things is with Scryfall. Scryfall is a wonderful search engine. You can put in anything that you want, in this case, standard legal cards that have a rarity of rare or mythic. That returns 1,257 cards. To get a random card out of that, we go up to the search bar here and we change search to random. So the first card that we're going to be building around today is Song of Tokenizance. Then we have Threefold Thunderhulk, and then Nahiri's Warcrafting. So that's 1 color, which is convenient. Okay, so let's jump into Arena and start building. Okay, so first thing is put in the cards that were Song of Tokenizance. Got 3 of those. I'm not going to bother to craft the 4th one because I value my wild cards. Here he's Warcrafting, so we only have 2 of those. It's just a removal spell. It's not that big a deal, but and then Threefold Thunderhulk. Only have 2 of those. Interesting. All right, so let's build a deck around these. Let's stay mono red because all the cards we rolled are just red, and see what we can do. All right, so Song of Totenizance. Let's see, what can we do with that? So let's just look at rares or reds or this. So I know the main thing that Song of Totenizance is known for is enduring vitality. Using Song of Totenizance with the Untapper Otter guy, the blue card. This Valley Flood color to make tons of mana and go absolutely ham. But we don't have access to blue or red. So let's not do it that way. Alright, so this gives us tokens and it gives us haste, which is nice. This has whenever it enters or attacks, so being able to give this haste would be nice. Notably, both of these make tokens, so maybe that's an angle to go for. And this is a nice removal spell. We can use it to find lands, we can use it to cast small spells, things like that. But let's see what there is in mono red in terms of token synergies. So most of these are going to be making tokens rather than using them. This one's interesting. Whenever a creature deals combat damage this turn, make a tap treasure token, so that can maybe give us, if we use this with a bunch of rat tokens, we might be able to make a bunch of treasures that we can then use to cast Threefold Thunderhulk. Also, obviously, if you cast it afterwards, when you can attack with a Threefold Thunderhulk, you can get extra combat phases, which means you can get a whole bunch more tokens, which is cool. So that's a possibility. More things that help with tokens. One 1 counters. This guy makes so these guys make treasures, which are good for casting this guy. Yeah, I don't like that guy. You need to be able to trade off with it, I think. And if you do that, you lose the Power Stone. Yeah, obviously not a ton of token synergies in mono red. Ammo Dan's Recruiter is obviously very good with making a bunch of tokens. Krenko, sacrifice an artifact, put a 1/1 counter on each goblin you control, and then you can use the artifacts to make goblins, which is good in terms of if you have a bunch of treasures, for sure. Obviously, let's add not collected to this list. Generous Plunderer is decent, for sure. But it's a mythic, and I don't want to craft that, so, you know. I don't have any House Squad heavies. That sucks. Also a mythic. Let's see. Obviously, I can do stuff like this. That gives your creatures a power buff, so that when you go in with these guys, they do more. This also is a power buff, and first strike, which might help save some of them. Obviously, Urbrask's Forge is good, but I don't think it really synergizes with in any particular way with things that we're doing. And this guy is expensive, so it might be worth looking for that we're trying to find treasure synergies, maybe. Big mana to go with big X on this, and casting this. This guy makes mana. You have to cast 3 instants and sorceries. It's not a very good card. Just it doesn't work well with doesn't match up well against most of the meta. It's too slow. You have to have 3 instants and sorceries, which is kind of a lot. But with Nahiri's Warcrafting, maybe you could do something. This is a removal spell that finds other spells to cast, which could go well with that. This guy is not good, but it sure does make a treasure. So this can make a Power Stone every turn, which helps with casting the Thunderhulk. I can maybe look for Power Stone synergies. Obviously this guy makes treasures. What does this guy do? You could make 5 treasures with this card. It's not terrible. So yeah, I could see some kind of big red deck for sure. Yeah, it would be nice if we could turn the tokens here into mana, but I don't think that's gonna be a thing. What is this? Yeah, I do like Hell to Pay. If you can make a bunch of mana, you can do this and then get back more treasures. Is that worth it? I don't know. I just don't know. Alright, let's look for treasure generators. gifts a treasure. Oh, this gives treasures, not power stones. Yeah, that makes more sense. That guy gives treasures. Let's go all in on the train heists. And then with that, obviously, we would want to play a bunch of small creatures. I mean, so far the Urbrask is looking kind of real. Somewhat real. But yeah, we need some ramp. Most of these cards just don't quite do it. We could do treasure map for sure. That gives a bunch of treasures all at once. Collector's Vault. I think we're just gonna lose if we try to Collector's Vault for too long. You could do something with Monument to Endurance. You can consistently draw cards, make treasure, go tall with that. I think we're gonna end up wanting to be a big red deck. Is Koth still around? So this can search for mountains each turn, which is decent. And obviously it's a removal spell. It's okay. Mana. This guy makes mana. That's cool. You could do Brass's Tunnel Grinder shenanigans, which maybe that's worth it. Defiler of Instinct, red permanent spell, so you can't use it with the instants and sorceries. Flywheel Racer is sort of a 2-mana artifact that makes mana. Relic of Legends, although I don't think we really have enough creature or legendary creatures to go with that plan. Can you not just search for that? I do know there's a 2-mana creature, this guy, that is a double mana dork if you can get to it, which is cool. And if you're going with max speed, you could do Muruganda Raceway, which is cool. I was gonna say that we can put in a bunch of Pyroclasm type cards. Just deal 2 damage to each creature. Nice little sweeper, keeps the board somewhat clear. But if you want to do that with Endright or Catalyzer and you want to consistently deal damage to your opponent, maybe it's not the greatest thing. In terms of ramp, there is Iron Crag, which is probably the best 2-mana ramp spell in standard anyways. How many arrests do I have too? I think that's an interesting way to build it. don't think we're gonna do, although maybe we should do Charming Scoundrel, because it can potentially turn our engines more on, which is good. So I think we're not gonna bother with that. With Nahiri's Warcrafting, it's good if we have small things to hit, but of course we can also hit lands with that, so it's maybe not the biggest thing in the world. If we want to do a max speed thing, we could do Ginger Brute. There's also, of course, Monastery Swiftspear, which I have 4 of. And so Swiftspear would not die to Pyroclasm, which is always good. So I think that's a nice way to go. Flywheel Racers, probably not good enough. Treasure Map is decent for sure. So that's 6 of those creatures. We have a Hell to Pay. I don't know if that's good enough. Let's put Gravy Giant out of here. I don't think we're going to bother with either of these two either. So is it this, and then play a few more removal spells? Doesn't sound terrible. Just put in, what's the card called? Torch the Tower, which is probably the best red removal spell right now. And then lands, we don't need to do too much. There's not a ton of good monocolor lands that are worth playing. You could play, Hidden Volcano, you could play other stuff. Are there any colorless lands that are worth playing? We could play Amonkhet Raceway to turn on our engines. Is Fomori Vault worth playing? Maybe. Probably not, though. Oh, Fountain Port. Fountain Port's good. Let's see, is that enough red lands? That's 16 red lands. Yeah, I would hope that's enough. I guess we'll find out. So 1, 2, 5, 7, 11, 15, 17. Is that enough to flip Urbrask? Maybe. I guess we'll find out. Some haste tokens to potentially go with threefold. Obviously, Totenzons with Endless Endrider Catalyzer, once you have max speed, is lets you tap to get the mana, which is cool. Sure, we can try this anyways. So I've been calling this Ultimate Bravery. Don't remember what number I'm on at this point. Ultimate Bravery is a League of Legends thing. It's a randomizer that go into standard play. It's a randomizer that randomly selects your entire build and the build order and the lane that you have to go in, I think, even. And this challenge, obviously, it does not go to quite those to those levels in terms of exactly how you want to do it. So maybe Ultimate Bravery is not the best name. Maybe you could call it like I don't know, Speed Brewing or something like that. In terms of a hand, we have a bunch of ways to start our engines. We can start doing treasure map on turn 2. We might end up needing to trade with this, but obviously we could do the train heist and give it first strike, so we'll try this and see how it goes. If we do get our engines started, then we have Marigonda Raceway, which is a nice ramp. Yeah, so Speed Brewing, I'm not sure how much you would want to try to go into the race aspect of it, do it speedrunner style, where it's from the moment you roll the first card to the time you get your first win, it's your points. No, well, that's too bad. Or you could just sort of try to win in as few games as it takes as possible. And yeah. Let's see. Okay, so now we're seeing a little bit of the tension here. We have Pyroclasm with our 1/1 tokens. So if we attack in, they block. We can Great Train Heist to get the first strike and the treasure. Problem is that this guy is a big boy and has vigilance, and so I don't know that we'll be able to attack past it ever. Yeah, I think we're just gonna attack in here. They're gonna block, and then we'll get the speed up, and then we will Pyroclasm. If they don't block here, I'm going to train heist, make treasures, make a second battle phase or combat phase, but they do block. So just get our speed up here. I'm just gonna do this, kill the Deep Cavern Bat, get back our treasure map, play the treasure map. Maybe I should have just tokens on for 2 more tokens and then done the train heist next turn. Yeah, that might have been better. Here we have a lumbering world wagon. So, well, we don't have much else going on. I maybe could have upkeep stop there, but let's do tokens for 4. Get 4 rats, go attacking in, and get our speed up all the way. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana available. I'm going to set an upkeep stop to be able to use the treasure map here. Fortunate. They choose not to attack in with the world wagon, which is interesting. Okay, let's treasure map. Let's see if we find something useful here. Mountain, probably don't want that. Monastery Swiftspear. Well, we're gonna play it. And set a stop for next upkeep and see how dead we are. We can give our stuff 1-0 on first strike, but that's not really enough. Swiss Spear is the only one that can block. The rats are unable to block. Okay, if our opponent fires this up, cruise this, or just cast that. So if they crew the World Wagon, we're dead, no matter how we block, basically. Yeah, I was gonna say, are you not attacking with everything? But they should have attacked with the elves as well. They're at 19. They do not need to worry about life totals. Oh, they also have a removal spell, so... Yep, okay. So we're fine with these ones here. That's fine. We'll take the damage and let them win. Alright, so... a little bit of lack of synergy with the Pyroclasm and all of the X1s in the deck. So let's fix that. Maybe we don't play so many Pyroclasms, and we do play more Torch the Towers. And then, so that's a bunch of single target removal. I do like having the Sweeper in here at some level. Just cleans up a bit of stuff. The Swift Spear doesn't die to it. Alright. Let's go back in there. Let's see how we do. And it might seem, you know, easy to get a single win, especially in the play queue in Standard, but decks are pretty good. A lot of people play meta decks in the Standard queue, the play queue, so it is by no means a free win to play in the play queue. It would be nice if we could play the Swift Spear off of Murragon Raceway to start getting speed up, but such is life. I'll note that we have once again gone Pyroclasm with no, with an X1 over here. So I could try to get multiple things by them casting things with this Optimistic Scavenger. However, I have a feeling that this is going to end up with 3 toughness by the end of our opponent's next turn. So instead, I'm just going to Pyroclasm, take the 1-for-1, get in with the Swift Spear, get our speed up, and see what we do. Okay, so there's another Scavenger, and Scavengers down. Okay, so it would have been nice to have Pyroclasm both of those, unfortunately. Alright, we're just going to play a Catalyzer here and pass, and then hope that we draw a second red to be able to do some good attacking with this train heist. Our opponent is not putting extra counters on the Scavenger. Maybe they just don't fear the second Pyroclasm. They just don't fear the second Pyroclasm. So now I wish we had the second Pyroclasm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we somehow manage to get to max speed, I think for now we just take the hit. Okay, we do not draw a red mana, but we do draw Hell to Pay. So if we attacked in, we could maybe get them with the 1-0 on first strike. This would go to 3 power. If they do block with the isolation, that would be bad. For now, I think I'm just going to go ahead and use Hell to Pay X3 on the scavenger here. Kill it, make a token, and say go. We are really not getting our speed up, unfortunately. Dixie is going to pick up the talent. We're going to recast the talent. So, what I'm hoping for is, attacks that let us do things with this train heist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we could play the Bravery-like, which blocks a bunch of the ground creatures. Unfortunately, we are dying in the air. We really need to draw some removal spells. We could attack in with the train heist, maybe take out some of their blockers, and get treasures. I think we just gotta play out Bravery-like and hope that it works out. I don't know how it works out. I mean, if we flip this, we do get to sort of wrath their board, which is awesome. Problem being, I have no idea how we're going to flip it. Okay, we do need to do some blocking here, or else we're going to lose. Okay, that is no flipping, so we're just going to go ahead and scoop it up. Alright, so if we had saved the Pyroclasm, we might have been in a much better spot. Should have just done nothing on turn 2, or just attacked with the Swift Sphere. So that's my bad. That game was definitely winnable if I had had more foresight. Of course, you never know what your opponents are going to do. We'll see if we can wait until turn 4 to start casting stuff so that we can flip this Bravery-like. That would be cool. Life Duo. Cool. I'll just untap. Do I attack in? We are, depending on what we play, we're either going to want to kill this or the life gain payoff that they inevitably will play. I'm not gonna be a coward, especially against a 1-2. I'm gonna attack in, see if they block. They did not, which is cool. So we just do nothing and react to what they're doing. Hopefully we draw a land so we can cast in or grass. Okay, Zorline. We'll let that resolve. If we don't draw land, I am going to Totemzance, and then sack the token to the Torch the Tower to go into Zorline. Okay, we did draw land. I'm just going to slam down the Bravery-like and see if we get there. Hopefully we're able to cast some spells, and if it flips, we'll be dealing 3 damage to each creature they control, which will be destroying everything. Unfortunately, they have a Deep Cavern Bat, which will be taking our Torch the Tower, almost certainly. We're going to be gaining some more life here. So let's see if we draw an instant or sorcery. We do not. Question, I suppose, is do we want to hold things back to try to flip it, and I think the answer is yes. So for now, I'm just going to attack in with the Herbarast. Player land, say go. We very much would like to draw... Oh geez. Draw an instant or sorcery. And we are not drawing that, unfortunately. I mean, we can play the Song of Totemzons, but it doesn't really do anything. We're mostly dead next turn, but we can leave some blockers back and try to block this and see if we live, which we probably... We're not going to be able to sweep this anytime soon, unfortunately. We really needed to be able to hit some of these cards. I don't know why they're not attacking in with everything, but you do you. And another land. So, that is game. Unfortunate. We needed to keep this or draw one more instant or sorcery, and we simply did not. That's just how that goes. Alright. Game number 4. Let's see if we can get there this time. Certainly not doing anything in terms of speed running this one. Ideally, we would just win the first game, but it's not always that easy. This is a 2-land keep. Hopefully this will turn on. Okay, cool. Opponent's on green, just hopefully not going to be able to stop these Swift Spears anytime soon. Speed 3. Our opponent's still not casting anything, which is cool. Alright, this looks like a Zur domain deck, so that will be a little bit tough to deal with for sure. Pyroclasm doesn't... Well, it hits the 4-drop. Alright, so now we have 4 mana because of Muruganda Raceway. Let's make it 5. Cast Koth. We're immediately going to uptick it.
I'm ready to
Our opponent might be able to use a Leyline Binding or something like that to kill the Koth, but if not, we can hopefully keep plussing Koth, getting more mana to cast our other dudes. Would not mind if our opponent played the White Overlord. The Up the Beanstalk is a little bit harder for us to deal with, for sure. We don't have any enchantment removal in red, obviously. Okay. This could be decent dealing with Zur. If our opponent lets us minus Koth, we'll probably minus Koth. I think there's a decent chance that our opponent is going to wipe the board next turn. Although if they do that, then Koth will be able to minus. So let's run out stuff. If our opponent does play Day of Judgment or Sunfall or something like that to take out these two guys, Koth will stick around. If we draw one more land, we can cast this 3-fold Underhold. It's always good. Our opponent does have 2 double white mana now. So do we see Leyline Binding on Koth, perhaps? Yep.
We can't give ground forever.
Okay, so look at the top X, where X is the excess damage dealt. So we could flip Urbrask here. We can do 4 plus 3 is 7, so I would need 4 more damage to kill our opponent, which we might be able to do with this Swift Spear. So let's do Hell to Pay, X0, target the Urbrask. That'll give us some mana. Let's cast Torch the Tower. We're gonna target we need to target one of these, and we can't work Nihiri's Warcrafting. This would go to 4 and then to 5, so let's target this. Oh, and we need to attack first, unfortunately. So let's attack. Our opponent goes to 2. I don't know how I miscounted. But yeah, let's cast Nihiri's Warcrafting, targeting the Swift Spear. Oh, this deals 1 damage every time? Well, that's nice. We don't need the tokens on us, but Urbrask is going to flip. Oh, now it's going to flip. Oh! So I could have cast the thing pre-combat. That would be nice. And our opponent is dead! Woohoo! So which of the cards did we use? None of them. Well, we flipped Urbrask with Nihiri's Warcrafting. So that counts, right? It's our win. I mean, that's nice. Let's do one more game. We can see if we use our cards more effectively. If I had thought about it, we could have maybe done some I forgot. I thought that Urbrask flipped on the 3rd cast, that it didn't have the activated ability that worked it. And I also didn't realize that it did 1 damage every time it triggered. So that's cool. This is decent. We have a sweeper here. We have Monastery Swift Spear, which is definitely not going to get cut down. Hey, it didn't get cut down. It'd be nice to be able to be turning on our speed. What does our opponent take with the Deep Cavern Bat? I imagine the Pyroclasm. Alright, let's go Mountain Swift Spear. And maybe we'll do something with the Train Heist next turn. I'd like to save this Warcrafting. For turn 4. Definitely not doing anything with the trains. Here I could play the Ginger Brute and make a token off of the Train Heist, but that seems kind of bad. And I'd rather save it so that once I kill this Deep Cavern Bat, I can do Pyroclasms to deal with small stuff. The Slasher is definitely unfortunate. Alright, so take that. So we could do Catalyzer plus Ginger Brute. Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to force through the ginger brute because we didn't play it last turn. So I think we're definitely warcrafting here. We need to find a land. The question is whether we hit the bat or the slasher, and I am for not dying, which would be the slasher here. So let's warcrafting the slasher, and we do find a land, and like that, a land that you can use to cast Gingerbread. Get a speed up there. So our opponent's at 18, but we're at speed 2. Hey, we would have lost if we didn't slasher this. That's cool. So we can torch this now. I think that I would rather Gingerbread through some damage, and then cast the catalyzer, and then probably torch the tower, the deep cavern bat here. You're gonna have to do something to deal with this unstoppable slasher, because it's gonna untap next turn. But if we're able to get to max speed, this is 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll be able to cast this 3-fold Thunderbolt, which blocks the slasher nicely. So let's see if that is in the cards here. Our opponent has 1 card in hand. Are they going to Shieldred's Edict? Okay, so what do we want to do? Do we want to save the Gingerbread and not get to max speed this turn? Or do we want to save the catalyzer? I think the answer is we want to save the catalyzer. So that we can cast the Thunderbolt. We have Urbrask to be able to block the slasher, which I don't think they realize. It's cool. Has first strike, so it does not die to death touch here. So let's do the train heist because that's cool. I guess we do need to deal with this at some point. And maybe that point is... So this will attack, we'll lose life there. We could Urbrask with the train heist to main phase get the damage. I think it will be more interesting. Let's just hope that this Aclazotz doesn't kill us, and if it doesn't, then we get to do some crazy stuff with this train heist. Yeah, we're gonna die. Go to 4. Iron Crag doesn't do much. So we're gonna... Can we use all the modes on this? Untap. It costs 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we need this to do all of the modes. And we can do this. Alright. Let's get in there! Opponent's gonna do some blocking. We're gonna do Great Train Heist. Full modes. Target you. Big mana. Hit for 1. Untap. First strike. Deal some damage. That flips. We get a bunch of treasures. So that's that. Get in there. One more attack. Make some more gnomes. Deal some more damage. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at that. That is some ultimate bravery. Some speed brewing. Ah, that's beautiful, man. That is beautiful. What cards did we win with? Well, this time it was just the threefold Thunder Hulk. And the Warcrafting. We did use the Warcrafting to find our land, so we just didn't see the Totems except for the Warcrafting, which we needed to find the land. So yeah, that was pretty fun. That's definitely not a deck that I would have brewed, on my own. Some nice randomness there. So yeah, that was pretty fun. I quite enjoyed that. I hope you did too. So that's my speed brewing. Toodles.